What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Where Did All My Friends Go? Podcast about life in the music industry. I'm your host, Patrick Tarnowski. With me is Matt Reed, and today we've got McCall and Mike from Nashville band Dawn. Friends, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having us and nailing the pronunciation on my name and our band name. I'm so impressed.
Yeah, we get DAVVN a lot, but you crushed it.
I mean, look, DAVVN doesn't make a lot of sense. The double V is used for W's a lot now because there's so many bands now that you just have to like pick a name, and then if somebody has that name, you just got to rearrange it a little bit.
I like that. I like that attitude.
I know it's been good for us until we get sued by the dish soap, but right now it's been good.
I don't see that being a problem because it's not spelt the same. One's a W and one is two V's.
Now they're copyrighted before they come after us,
Now, if you start releasing dish soap merch,
yeah,
have an issue.
We were actually thinking about that, and now that you say it, seems like not as good of an idea. But
now if you made like a shirt, that would be rad. But I mean, just don't come out with your own dish soap line.
Yeah, I mean, parody law. We'll be good.
Yeah, parody law. You're great with that. And yeah. Absolutely. So let's talk about your newest song here. You released your latest single, Care Less, earlier this month in October. Tell us a little bit about the song.
Yeah, totally. I love this song because it feels a lot more powerful. Like some of the stuff we had been doing before was pretty nostalgic, like very Michelle Branch, Hilary Duff vibes. And I needed to let loose a little bit of anger when we were writing this one. I'm sure you guys are familiar with friends who either just use you when they need you or are just kind of crappy friends. So when we were in the writing room with our friend and fellow songwriter John Townsend, we just started like getting on this like kind of angry, really like classic pop punk feeling, just about bad friends. And we had such a good time writing it, which turned him into a good friend, even though the song was about bad friends.
Yeah,
so.
kind of ironically. But yeah, it's a really fun one. Tons of energy. I feel a little bit of Paramore in there too when I listen to it. I'm like, which is obviously I was a huge band for me when I was growing up. So yeah, really excited about this one.
How's the response been so far?
It's been really good. Yeah, honestly. So like I'd say it was like compared to like some previous songs, it's been definitely doing a little bit better. We got kind of our TikToks going right now. We started some fake drama.
Oh, you got some TikTok beef going?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we kind of pulled one of our friends in to do just a silly video in the car. You know how TikTok songwriters do that. And
our angle was like, oh, this is the friend the song's about, and we're showing them the song about them, but they don't know it,
Right.
But
poor girl.
Yeah, it's obviously it's not true because we don't have the balls to do that. But
but everybody in the comments like, is
this real? We need to see the real reaction.
The TikTok videos are so great because like I love the creativity that goes behind like how do I promote this song a little bit differently, and everybody's like they're all just stories, like I love when I see the people that do like should I finish this song? I'm like, it's a fully fucking done song. It's been recorded for like a year now, and they're like, yo, should I finish it? And it's like, but like, people are like, oh yeah, that's fucking great. I love it. You gotta get creative with how you post the same video 30 different times.
Absolutely.
Because that's TikTok.
1,000%. People don't want to be marketed to. They want to be entertained. They want something funny, educational, or I don't know. What's the other one?
I don't know. I feel like it's funny. Like with music, like the way to promote it is almost anything but music because the music itself isn't entertaining enough. They need some gimmick. Like I was looking at like Swayco. He's like the master of music TikTok, I swear. But he does magic. He does like weird like public stuff in public. He just like brings in a bunch of like random girls. Like it's crazy.
Did you see what his magic was?
Yeah.
He basically has like a can and he's like makes the can disappear, and how he does that is he slides it off the table and has it like fall down while a bunch of girls take their shirts off. And I'm just like, classic. It's good. So entertaining, we're trying to be creative over here. It's tough though as an artist because you obviously want to focus in on the music,
Right.
and then you always are thinking kind of like, okay, is this song going to perform well too? Like how do
Right.
we market this to somebody when you're like, even before you're writing something? So it definitely impacts the way that you write now more so than pre-TikTok.
Yeah.
But I think it gives artists like a lot of independence and autonomy in terms of like getting discovered. It's incredible. Like once we started kind of taking it more seriously, the response you get, the hate sometimes you get, the controversy, it's really awesome for us because we've reached so many people we didn't think were possible to get to before.
Yeah. TikTok is it's a playground, man. It's wild. It's wild out there.
Totally.
So I also saw that you're planning on releasing your first EP. You've talked about a few different times. Are you still planning on doing that before the end of the year, or when's this coming out?
Yeah, so I think our plan changed a little bit. We actually wrote a new song that we were just super, super excited about, and we were like, we want this on the EP. It like perfectly fits the theme. So we're like, all right, you know what? We'll think about delaying it a little bit. So I think where our plan is to now do it beginning of the next year. But
Yeah.
All right.
all right. It's all good.
I feel like timelines, it's so funny, like completely independent. So timelines are basically like whenever we decide.
Whenever you feel like it.
Right, yeah.
What works for you guys?
Yeah, and then we tell a bunch of people, we're like, we're gonna put it out this year, and then we're like, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, because I was just bringing that up because I read, there's a few different interviews I like looked through and skimmed, and like one of them said like you're releasing this in the summer, and then one said like in the fall. I'm like, so what are we doing here?
Yeah. I know that's the peek behind the curtain in the music industry. It's like everyone's trying to get their songs finished, everyone's trying to get their EP done, and then sometimes just stuff gets delayed.
It's gonna be our first EP, so we wanted to make sure that we did it right. Like actually, instead of just it being like a collection of stuff that we've released in the past, we want to make it feel like a project. So we're working on really like adding a lot of cool elements to it, so it feels more like one project and one theme. Because we tend to write about a lot of the same common threads, if you've noticed.
Sure.
And kind of making that into a story. So yeah, we both decided spring. Now you got a new spring.
Late winter.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, if like right now, if you say spring, that gives you such a long time.
Much time.
For real.
And if you're like, if you want to go by like, be like, well, I was talking to somebody from Minnesota, so I meant like Duluth spring, so that gives you till almost June.
There you go.
So
Yep.
real.
Yep.
Also, I'm sorry for that.
Yeah. Me too.
Oh God, that was part of the reason why I love Minnesota so much. So I grew up in Minnesota and Las Vegas, kind of going back and forth, really weird stuff. And then I experienced Boston after school, and I was like, I just can't do that cold weather, winter anymore.
Yeah.
And so we ended up in Nashville. Obviously, the music was a huge factor as well. But Minneapolis has such a good music scene as well. I definitely miss that about it. Very independent.
Yeah, no, Minnesota's got a good scene here.
Definitely. Yeah, we hope to come play there sometime. That's like another big focus for us. We're playing our first out of town show at the beginning of next month, which will be really awesome for us because we've only really played in Nashville before that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then hopefully next year, again, wishy-washy time frame. But hopefully do some like small tours, maybe just like a weekend up where we go through Minnesota because I have a lot of family there, Cleveland, I don't know, Midwest, then Northeast.
Well, there's a lot of really, really awesome artists coming out of Nashville right now that even we're friends with, and you definitely have good groups out there that you could go on some weekenders with.
Totally. The people here are amazing. I love Nashville, and the writers are incredible. It's really helped level us up a lot.
Sure. With
you.
your last few singles, you've also released mega rad music videos to go alongside of them. What does your process look like when you're coming up with ideas and concepts for the music videos?
I love that. I wish we could do a music video for every single song. It's
Yeah.
just so expensive
Yeah.
for independent artists. But for coming up with the concepts, like the last one we did, Depressed in Heaven, we actually had like a really amazing team that we worked with. And they kind of pitched us this idea of Euphoria meets The Sixth Sense. And we're like, okay, this is the coolest vibe ever. And just kind of like let them run with that theme, kind of given our like branding and the meaning of the song. But yeah, that one was super fun.
Yeah. And then we kind of threw one together for Fucked Up Lullaby for our other song.
Yeah.
And that one was more just like performance and like a quick little thing, but I thought it turned out really great too.
Yeah.
We did all of that in like only like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
It was just
Oh,
one
nice.
house, and we just had like a couple different rooms in the house we were shooting in.
Yeah.
And it just worked out really well.
The chaos.
Yeah.
It was good.
I don't know if you guys saw our really, really old music video for the song Mixed Signals, but that one was a very interesting concept too.
That was a weird one. Who had the idea of
I think I might have had the idea for the
human iPhones
Yeah.
like chasing after this guy?
Yeah.
It was super fun though.
Yeah.
They basically kidnapped the guy. The song's called Mixed Signals, and it's
It's about like a texting like
Mhm.
back and forth relationship where like someone's not like answering their text or
Yeah.
something. So then it's like the iPhone.
Just go left on red.
Yeah. It's like you're struggling with like whatever this conversation over the phone, and then it's like in real life the phone is actually fighting you.
It was really fun. We did that while we were still in Boston, and then right after that, we ended up moving here. So, yeah, that was
a fun one too.
Mhm. Love that question.
Hell yeah. I have not seen the mix signal. I might have. I don't know. I look at so many damn videos and
I have to now, though.
yeah, I definitely want to make sure I go back and check it out. But I know that like there was like it's when we were doing the super awesome music video show like all the time. I watched so many music videos.
That's awesome.
I feel like we submitted to that music video show
Did
at one
you?
point, so maybe you've seen it actually, but
I know that I've had you on it. I just
Yeah.
don't remember which one. And
Yeah.
I feel like the crazier the music video, like
The better.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
more fun it is too.
it's got to be entertaining.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, like the Euphoria Sixth Sense one was so cool. Like that was
Mhm.
super, super fun. But at the end I was like, damn, we should have had something really weird happen in there. Next time.
Next time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always more music videos you can make.
Totally.
So one of the other things I saw is you've recorded an updated rendition. You've talked about this in some other interviews as well, but an updated rendition of Bowling for Soup's 1985 titled 2002. You even were able to collaborate with them on that track. So how'd that happen? How'd that all come about?
Well, we were talking about the power of TikTok, and this really
Yeah.
comes down to that. Like, so way back in 2021, when we were still in Boston, I saw just a random video posted on TikTok by a guy who was like, "Oh, if
It's like it was like a reaction to a tweet. Yeah. And he
Yes.
was just like, "Oh, if you like look at the years between 1985 and 2004 when that song was written, it's like the same amount of years."
Yeah,
now
that
and
stuff
to-
always makes me feel
Yeah.
old and sad.
It's painful. It's painful. And now, like the version that we wrote, like back then, I kind of in 2021 is when we recorded the
Yeah.
first, like, just fun.
Just like a
TikTok.
demo, we were just messing around for TikTok.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And back then, like literally, like there was no Y2K fashion. Like there were now kind of everything's like popping back up, which
Yeah.
I love, but also makes me feel even older because I'm like, this is the second coming of all of these fashions. So in 2021, that really hadn't taken off yet. And so I wrote about that. And then we reposted it at the beginning of this year just for fun and
Yeah.
being lazy again. And for some reason, like it just
hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think everyone's probably feeling old, it's the beginning of the new year.
totally.
And yeah, it just took off, and we posted it a few times, and Jared happened to just see one of the TikToks and commented on it. And he DM'd us and was just like, "Hey guys, I love this song. Like, would you be interested in just like putting it out or something like that. So he helped us, you know, work through all that. He sent us like the stems from their version of it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Gave us advice on the lyrics and everything. He was just like the kindest human about it.
Yeah, Jarrett rules.
So amazing. I'm so, like, we're gonna see them play for the first time actually when we were young. I'm so stoked about that. So that'll be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that was just like wild. Like I would have never ever thought this song that I like basically grew up listening to. Like I can pinpoint exactly when I was like on my iPod listening to it.
Sure.
Being able to work with the band and collaborate on a new version is just like,
yeah. I still have to pinch myself. I still can't believe that actually happened.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like so speaking of iPod, and this is just off subject, but feeling old and stuff. I was looking at a couple earlier this week. One of my Facebook memories was I had posted something that all of my CDs and my iPod got stolen out of my car.
That would be devastating back then. That's your whole music collection.
I know.
Did you actually purchase things, or were you like me and use LimeWire for most everything?
I mean, like Napster, LimeWire, Pirate Bay, I don't know. All of those good things.
Yeah. Still brutal. I will not discredit the amount of trauma that would cause me.
It sucked, yeah. I mean, I like had a massive CD collection though at that time. Like that was like I had like the giant books.
Like, oh God, I remember those.
See, and now it's like CDs are so cool. So it's like,
yeah,
we got rid of our CDs at one point, and now it's like we want them all back, you know?
I've started buying like DVDs and hit clips. I don't know if you guys remember hit clips from eBay.
Yes.
Yeah. It's kind of a problem.
It's a kind of fun collection, honestly, because it's like they're so hard to get every single one, but you actually could get every single one probably.
If only the Beanie Baby people had thought about this. Hit clips could have been it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hit clips. That wasn't a like that. I was a little too. I think I was too old for the hit clips thing.
I got you.
But yeah. I mean, I've gotten rid of and gotten my CD collection back so many times now. Like I have bins of CDs still like that. I'm just like not getting rid of them. It's gonna be awesome again.
Love that. I feel like there's something so wonderful about like tangible media that I feel like we kind of in the whole streaming wave just were like, oh, we don't need any of this stuff.
Yeah.
But there's something about holding it in your hand, like a physical book or a physical you know, DVD that's just, it feels so good. So I approve.
I think vinyl's still my favorite medium, but like the CD is still a really cool like moment in time.
Absolutely.
I also love cassette tapes. I have like Dude Ranch, but Blink-182's Dude Ranch on cassette, and like I just think it's awesome.
It's like so aesthetically pleasing too. It's just...
No, it's funny because I was talking to my son yesterday. We were watching a movie, and in the movie the person was like the power went down and they had to, so there was no cell service, the towers went down, and so they had to use like a rotary phone, and they're like, do you know what my parents my number is? Do you know what my number is? And like I was talking to him about that. He's 10 years old, and I was like, you know, your generation, like if internet goes down, you guys are fucked. Like, they don't know how to do anything that's not on the internet. Like, because it's understandable. Their whole life has been on the internet.
Yeah. God. It's so weird because like I feel like we kind of like straddled that line. Like we're both in the 90s, and we definitely had that period where you had to remember all the numbers, which I was terrible at. And like obviously function without a cell phone, and then without a cell phone with like a dumb phone, I guess, without internet. But now I'm like, would I actually be able to do anything if the internet went down? Like I'm like, oh,
I know, like
MapQuest out.
Well, because I mean, like think like yes, we could do rotary phones, easy. I mean, it's really dummy proof. As I remember going on tour with atlas, like with an atlas, and that's how we toured the country there. And it was
Oh,
just
man.
when like MapQuest was starting, sort of stuff, and so like we'd use it, but MapQuest was also super unreliable and would just randomly put you somewhere else. So
I, yeah, I luckily like didn't drive much without MapQuest, I feel like, or I would only drive places I knew. And then like occasionally when I had to go to a new place and you
I
had
was
to print the
absolutely
directions.
horrible with MapQuest. I don't know how anybody did any extended directions. You needed a second
Yeah.
person guiding
Yes,
you
literally reading
to
the
do the
second paper.
MapQuest.
Oh,
Like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the part of growing up is getting yelled at by your parents for giving them the wrong directions.
Mhm.
You're reading
Yes.
MapQuest.
I'm like so reliant on like technology and stuff. Like I DoorDash from time to time, and I'll, just every time like I have the GPS up and it's like go to Taco Bell. I fucking know where Taco Bell is, but I'm still looking at the GPS. I still got to still check. Do I turn here? Yeah, you turn here. You got a Taco Bell 100 times.
dude, that's so real. I don't want to think about
I
that.
know that's why when you put up the directions, I'm like, no, please, just let me
Yeah.
figure it out, because otherwise, I need to know how to get
Well,
there.
okay, I think it's all about optimizing. You know,
Well,
it's
but it's like, do I
is
need to be
there-
optimized at all times in my life? Like, you know,
Yeah.
Well,
Oh.
this road is going to get you there 0.6 seconds faster.
And it's
Yeah.
it's a country road with like dirt and
Mhm.
you- where the hell
Wait,
you
yeah, I'm destroying my car for 6 seconds.
Yeah, but there's one less stop sign here.
Mhm.
I'll take it.
Speaking of country roads, everyone knows Nashville is known for country music, but there's been a large amount of new alternative artists coming from there. What is the live music scene like in Nashville for alternative artists?
I love that.
Yeah, I feel like it's crazy to us. I actually don't think we really ever run into a lot of country artists here. We almost like only run into like alternative or pop like
Mhm.
artists. It's just funny. I feel like they must. It's like almost like there's two totally different scenes here, just
Yeah.
operating independently.
It's
probably
it's
is.
really interesting. Yeah, there's definitely like a scene for tourism and like people who are coming to Nashville and want that experience.
It's like the
and-
Broadway
Exactly.
gigs and stuff like that, and,
And then-
they overlap a little bit too.
True. But you do see like more and more non-country, like all these different types of music emerging in Nashville and all these venues outside of Broadway that are willing to support that, like
Mhm.
those artists, small,
Mhm.
local. It's really cool because I feel like we were a little bit hesitant about moving here at first because a lot of people said that.
Mhm.
And then you move here and you just the music environment for non-country artists is just so supportive. Like it's small enough that you know a lot of people, but still big enough that you can meet new people.
And there's always new people coming in, you know,
Yeah.
that Belmont's right down the road. And I think like when we moved here, it was like right after like COVID, kind of like 2021, I think 2022. And like I think there was a huge influx of people just coming into town
Yeah.
around then, all like pop related musicians, you know.
Yeah. So it's growing. It's definitely growing.
Yeah.
Nice. So, we got a fun question here. I think like you both majored in computer science in college and worked as programmers. What similarities do you think music has with the computer science programming world?
Yay.
That's a funny question.
That's so
Yeah,
great.
that's our secret, you know, our big secret. We're like both like tech nerds at the same time as trying to be like cool musicians. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of overlap in the skill set. I don't know. I always think about like, you know, programming is a little bit creative too. It like reminds me a lot of like the same skills I'm using in like production and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And I feel like for McCall too, like does a lot of like video editing and stuff like that. Similar kind of like left brain, right brain, both
Yeah.
working together with like video editing too.
It's definitely very analytical. Like the parts of music, like production,
Music theory.
exactly,
Yeah.
are like kind of mathy and analytical. It's really cool then that you see that in such a creative, like expressive field, and then also like have that overlap of the creativity in computer science where you kind of get to make choices about like architecture and the way you design things,
Yeah.
the visuals. Like I work very much on like website UI.
Okay.
So like way more creative than maybe somebody who's working more like in the depths.
In the depths.
in the depths. But yeah, it's really cool. And what I love is it's a good mix of like me being able to do something logical and kind of use that side of my brain and then still have room for me to want to like do something creative later. Like I think it really balances out because I love both sides of my brain.
Both sides.
Both sides of my brain is beautiful.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love it.
We have one more question before we go to a quick break. If you could give our listeners one piece of advice that you know now that you wish you knew when you were first starting your journey, what would it be?
Oh man.
That's a tough one. I feel like something we've kind of learned in the past few years is that like being cringe is okay. Like and being expressive is almost like a good thing. Like you have to be kind of able to be your full cringe self, you know, for people to really like understand who you are. Like you don't want to filter yourself. You don't want to, you know, pretend to be something you're not. Just like go straight in,
Authentic.
be your authentic self.
Yeah, that's good advice, Mike. I think for me, it's also like you are an artist. I feel like I'm always having this like kind of imposter syndrome, like, oh, we're not big enough. Like maybe I'll feel like an artist at some point, you know, when we have more followers, when we do a tour, all this stuff. But you're always an artist, no matter how small you are, like no matter if you're just making songs in your bedroom, like I think that's really important to remember. And you're telling a unique story, no matter who you are. And I have to remind myself that a lot. Like we have a little sign in our room that says you're good enough. And I think that's really important to just kind of keep in the back of your beautiful brain. You know?
Yeah, because everybody feels that way. You know,
for sure.
Regardless of your level in the music industry. It's weird. I feel like you're always thinking you're not doing enough. You always need to be at some next level. And it's like, you just got to enjoy where you are.
Absolutely.
You know, and that just makes me think of, you know, that this is an old skit from Saturday Night Live, but it does hold true, even though it's funny. But it's like, because you know, it's when Stuart Smiley is looking in his mirror and he goes, "You're good enough, you're smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me."
I love that.
And it's true. Oh, they're great. Those are good ones. I think that was like in the 90s or something like that.
Sweet. Yeah. I feel like I'm like my SNL cast was like Will Ferrell.
Mm-hmm.
That like set. I need to watch them all though. I feel like every SNL cast has been like their own unique vibe.
The 90s, like Chris Farley, Adam Sandler, and all just chef's kiss, you know, just great. But on that note, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with our next segment.
Excellent.
We did it.
Excellent.
Now we're going to chit chat about food and all that sort of fun stuff. Matt, you want to bring us back?
Sure. And we're back. Thanks so much for sticking around. We are hopping into the segment of all segments, the dinner for the winners. I don't know.
The dinner for the winners?
I don't know. You know, sometimes I feel like I'm going to start a sentence and I'm going to figure it all along the way.
If
that doesn't happen.
You don't win, you don't get any dinner. You ain't first, you're last. Yeah. Right?
Exactly.
Abraham Lincoln said that.
Food for thought segment.
Food for thought. All right. So this is why before the interview where it's like, oh man, I hope they're both from Boston. You're doing Boston. This would have screwed us up big time here. But since we're just gonna roll with this, since you're originally from Boston, but now transplanted to Nashville, let's pit them against each other. Who has the better food scene and why?
It's got to be Boston. Unfortunately, I feel like it's so much bigger. There's so many more options and restaurants open so much faster there. Dude. Even though Nashville
gives a really good run for your money. I feel like I love so many restaurants here and so much food here.
I think in 10, 15 years, Nashville will
10, 15, that's a long time.
Well, it's got to expand.
Yeah.
Boston's massive and like very
And it's been there since the very beginning.
Exactly.
Since
Yeah,
America is
The
birthed.
Boston Tea Party. Have you heard of it?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of it? Like the three things Boston's got: tea parties, cream pies, baked beans.
Yep.
You know, I don't see a
don't
lot of
think
baked beans
I
there.
never had the baked beans. I'll be honest.
I thought you'd go lobster roll for sure, but
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking of like
Dang.
things with Boston in the title.
Yes. Yes.
So
Boston
good.
cream pie. Yeah, it's okay.
Boston baked beans. Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
Boston baked beans.
I don't even know what's special about Boston baked beans. I don't know who bakes beans, but
Was that the candy though? Hold on. Let me research a little bit here. Because I remember there was
Doing it live.
a fucking weird candy. It
That's
was
like
like Boston
beans?
baked beans.
No, don't tell
this
me
sounds
that.
a little bit familiar.
You're unlocking a memory.
Yeah,
right?
dude, here we go. Boston baked beans. Candy coated peanuts. You can
Ugh.
get 'em at Target. I don't think you can see it. There it is.
Oh my god, those
Whoa.
are terrifying.
Those
I-
definitely don't look very good.
No, they're not. I don't because they're not. It's not even chocolate. It's candy coated baked bean or candy coated peanuts.
They shouldn't be allowed to put Boston's name on that. We don't deserve that.
Great Depression era candy, right?
Yeah,
there.
Great Depression era candy.
I'm getting depressed just thinking about it.
You'll have to pick yourself up some and get
Try
a little
them.
taste of home.
Just burn them.
Burn them. So Boston, they got the better food scene currently.
For now, yeah.
For the next 15 years, we're good.
At least the next 10 to 15 years.
So,
Okay.
question 2. With a name like Dawn, we feel you are uniquely qualified to answer this question. In your opinion, what is the perfect breakfast meal?
I thought you were gonna ask us what the dish soap tastes like.
That would be awkward, and I hope you only know what like the green apple one tastes like because
Yeah.
that one looks tasty.
Perfect breakfast meal. Oh gosh. We love like a really good diner, like just
I do love diners.
diner coffee. Like I love like
Your
hash.
classic American breakfast, you know?
That's some good stuff. So like either like a really trashy diner or
Yeah.
like a really boozy brunch. I could go either way.
Moses for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I also love like breakfast tacos. There's a really, really good spot out here in Nashville, Redheaded Stranger, that has awesome tacos
That's fair.
for breakfast too.
I thought you were gonna go with because you were just talking about mimosas. I thought you were gonna be like, I really like me a good breakfast alcohol.
That's it. I feel like that's a good 90% of what brunch is the drink.
That's what makes it fun.
Hell yeah, good mimosas. That's a fancy, delectable treat, though.
Do you guys know screw ups?
I've had screwdrivers. What's a screw up?
Okay, this is something that
think
I
that's-
thought was Minnesota, but I
don't
think it's just my
Minnesota.
mom.
Your mom made it up for sure.
All right.
Where she goes, like for like if we're going to a bar or something, it works in Minnesota. This is why I thought it was a Minnesota thing. She orders a screw up, which is 7-Up, a splash of OJ, and vodka, and that's like her version. When they don't do mimosa, she orders a screw up, but she asks for them like everywhere, just assuming that everybody knows what this is.
Yeah.
And she has not learned after 20 times.
No.
20 years, I was gonna say. I was like, I don't want to say that.
Years.
Ma'am, we don't screw anything up. We are professionals.
The waiter just goes back to the bar. She's asking me to screw up. I don't know what she
I don't know how to screw up. I'm basically perfect.
My tip gonna be.
If I screw up, my tip's gonna be crap.
I'm gonna tell her that, then she'll never say it again.
No.
Hell yeah. All right, for this final food for thought question, I'm gonna paint a picture for you. It's late. You've been crushing it in the studio. Vibe is good. You're getting that celebratory meal. What is it?
Oof. Are we cooking it at home or are we going out?
I don't care. What do you want to do? Do you celebrate by doing more work? I don't know.
All right, we'll give you 2 answers. if we're doing a home cooked meal, I feel like it's like we make steak. That's like our big like at home meal, you know,
All right.
a nice ribeye or something like that.
Classic steak and potatoes kind of vibe. I also love to do takeout, and there's in this place that's really, really good. He'll say a different one, but it's a Thai place here in Nashville, and it is so good. That's a good takeout place, or pizza, honestly.
I love pizza.
Basic.
Pizza.
Pizza's my go-to.
Yeah, you could
Take
eat that
out
every
anything
day for the rest of your
all
life.
times a day.
Yeah.
Is there so what's the good local pizza place in Nashville then? Because I mean, are you getting local or are you getting Domino's? Like, what you doing?
We're getting like local usually. I mean, we not gonna lie, Little Caesars, $6. Great all the time.
It's always good.
But yeah, if we're getting like good pizza, like
there's two
really good spots. There's one that's closer to us. It's 5 Points Pizza in Nashville. That one's awesome. And there's one that like just opened called Pinky Ring. Okay. That one's probably objectively better, I'd say.
Both New York pies.
Yeah.
He really is very insistent on the New York pie.
I don't really like Chicago or anything like that.
Fair.
Yeah, fair. I mean, that's a different kind of pie though, you know. That's almost basically a pie, like a tomato pie.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping tater tot hot dish was going to come out for the celebratory meal.
Oh my god.
Tater tot hot dish.
Yeah.
It's tough because I feel like hot dish is like so associated with holidays for me. So we'll make like a pork and veal hot dish is the family hot dish that we make around the holidays. I never make tater tot hot dish, but like I make this for all my friends and it looks awful. I mean, as you guys know, like hot dish is not an appealing dish, but every time they eat it, they're like,
I don't know, man. I mean, but there's so many different kinds of like hot dish, you know?
What is each of your selected hot dish, like the favorite?
So I make a hot dish with shells. Shells. You got some ground beef. You season it.
Like
season it.
Goulash?
See, but that's the thing is like some people call it goulash, some people call it hot dish. It's the same thing. But yeah, so it's like, you know, shells, ground beef, but my sauce use Campbell's tomato soup and it's a game changer. So that and then you put some cheese in it and like woo!
That sounds really good.
It's super good.
I love that the soup's an ingredient in it.
It's all
like I would never have thought.
You got to keep it creamy. Ours is like cream of mushroom based. Cream chicken, cream of mushroom. And Matt, what's your hot dish of choice?
Ooh, I haven't had a good hot dish for a bit now because we're on a soup kick in my house. So
okay,
time, but I can't go wrong with a good, like what Pat said, like a goulash style or chicken and rice style. I love the chicken and rice with the mushrooms, the cream.
Yes. That's very much what the hot dish I make is. I've never had like a tomato soup based hot dish, so that's gonna be to try.
Hit me up. I'll give you the directions.
Love it.
It's good stuff. Another fun one to try because I don't really like the traditional tater tot hot dish with like mixed vegetables and stuff in it. Like it just kind of turns me away a little bit. Don't like it. But I make a good bacon cheeseburger tater tot hot dish, and that's fire.
You had me a bacon cheeseburger.
Yeah, you do a bacon cheeseburger. Dang. Yeah. Now I'm hungry.
I know.
That's what happens here. We do a lot of food talk, and everybody like wants to get food afterwards. And
yeah.
Too funny.
See what we should do is, you know, we'll open up the studio, start having guests in here, and we'll all like have a meal while we do the food for thought segment.
Yes, I love that.
Oh, anytime somebody feeds me.
Mike's gonna start getting the itch. He's gonna have the hot dish itch and start saying "ope" and all.
Oh, I feel like every time I go to Minnesota, it just starts coming out. Like even if it's put a fake accent, like I can't stop when we're in Minnesota.
Oh,
you're like, oh, hey, do you want some of this hot dish? And you're like, you betcha.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yes,
Sorry.
the O for sure. That's so good. That's accurate.
I never realized that the O thing was a thing until like I got to Boston, and then I'm like, nobody else is saying this.
Oh.
This is weird.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just kind of you're like a oh,
Yeah.
like that's like the whoops type thing. You're like, oh,
Can I squeeze past you there? So
yeah.
good.
I'm just gonna scooch past you here, just little scoochies, some scoochins.
Or like the Minnesota goodbye is my all-time
The knee slap.
fave.
Well,
Yeah, it's
Well, yeah, but that's not even just the Minnesota. That's the first stage of the Minnesota.
first, yeah,
goodbye.
you gotta say
That's-
bye before.
You gotta like do the knee slap, and then you gotta say goodbye at least 15 times.
you leave the house and you come back in at one point.
Yeah,
I'm-
well, or
host.
like you as the host, you follow them out, because you got to keep talking to them on the way to the car.
I'm guilty of that here, and I think people don't get it.
Yeah, they're like, you don't have to follow me. Oh, I'm not. I just wanted to, I was going to shut the door, and I was just going to make sure, I just wanted to make sure that you got out of the house safely.
It's too real, guys. It's too real.
Well, it's slip on the ice. You never know.
So,
That's
yeah,
gonna be
you
our
could,
next song, Minnesota
And then-
goodbye.
and if you're like that Minnesota, regardless whether you followed them outside or not, you're looking through the window. You gotta make sure, wait for them to leave, and then you're like, all right, now I can go back to
home,
watching
text-
TV.
Text me when you get home. Let me know.
Yeah, text me when you get home. I want to make sure you get home safe, okay? Thanks. Like I do that to my friends. Like me and Matt, I'll drive down the fucking cities and I'll be like, all right, buddy, I'll text you when I get home. It'll be like 2 a.m. I'll text him. Like, hey man, I just want you to know I made it home safe.
I wonder what kind of trauma like that came from that we all do that. Like something collectively bad must have happened that we all feel the need.
No.
We love too hard here. That's the problem. We just love too hard.
So real. Making me miss home.
What can I say? All right. But we've finished the food for thought segment. Now it's time to move to this last segment. This is rapid fire questions.
Friendships will be tested. Rapid fire questions.
Just going to speak from the heart. You're going to shoot from the hip. First thing that pops into your head, go for it. This is where it gets a little heated. Tensions rise.
Oh boy.
Friendships have been challenged and broken.
I'm scared.
No. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mountain Dew or Mellow Yellow?
Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Horror or comedy movies?
Right now, still comedy, but
Comedy. He switched me over.
Oh,
I used to
boy.
talk about the horror, and now I get scared.
You get scared now?
Yeah.
What is the scariest movie you've seen the past year?
The past year, not
Sure.
my life.
Or your life? Whatever.
The Descent was
Yeah.
pretty scary.
That movie rules.
Yeah, it's insane. Right now I'm watching Fall of the House of Usher. I don't know
Oh,
if you guys
okay.
have-
Is that good?
It's okay. It's not as good as his previous stuff, like Mike Flanagan. Like, did you guys watch Haunting of Hill House?
I have. They're okay.
I liked that one. Not scary enough for you?
Well, it wasn't scary at all.
Hey, we were gonna watch Donnie Darko last night, which is not horror, granted, but he's slowly able to.
I'm working my way up.
Donnie Darko's not horror. It's just like super emo. It's like
Yeah.
sad. It's super emo.
It's super emo.
I
I actually, my favorite would be like dark comedy. Have you guys ever seen Drop Dead Gorgeous?
Yeah. Oh, yes. My wife loves that movie.
Or like
It is
Fargo. I love Fargo.
So good. That's
You like your Minnesota-based movies, huh?
Is that a comparable horror comedy? It's just all comedy.
what, Fargo?
Yeah.
Fargo's great too.
It's a dark comedy.
Dark. Yeah.
Yeah.
if you're looking for a good like horror type fun show or movie, the new Goosebumps, it's pretty rad.
Is it? Okay, a lot of people have been saying that it's actually scary.
I mean, it's. I don't think it's scary, but it's like it's good. It's fun.
What is the scariest movie you've seen? Now I'm scared to know.
Personally, I think Insidious. I think ghost movies are the ones that like I will curl my feet up.
Yeah, Insidious. I saw the trailer and I was like, "There's no way in hell."
Insidious was pretty scary. The Conjuring was pretty creepy too.
Yeah, I love the Conjuring universe. I think those movies like Insidious like is one of just the most, to me, I guess, was one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. Like, just scared the shit out of me.
I'm remembering one actually that I like blacked out because it was so scary. I blacked it out of my memory. It was called Grave Encounters. Have you guys heard of this?
Oh, that one's good. I love the Paranormal Activity, like the found footage movie. I fucking love found footage movies. Those are great.
VHS.
If I saw that one, I would not sleep for like a month straight. I'd just be like...
So comedy.
Fair enough. Okay.
I hate
All
horror.
right. Now, what is this isn't an either or question, but what is the most random item you have within reach right now?
Random item.
Like wrapping paper? Your like bicycle under this.
Oh, I have a desk bike. That's pretty random.
A desk bike? So
Yeah,
like you can like ride your like pedal
you
while
can
you're
pedal at the desk. Yeah.
It's like peak work from home energy.
Yeah.
that is some peak work from home energy for sure. I like it. See, we came up with this because me and Matt, well, especially me, just have the most random shit on our desk.
Yeah, what is it, each of you?
I don't know what to pick from. I have this fucking Garfield toy. I've got multiple California raisins.
Oh
I
my
have another
god.
dinner fix.
I've got
That's not random. I like that. That's good.
I've got this like sealed case of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cards that Matt got me.
I have a Willie Nelson uniform card.
Yeah.
Dang, we need to up our random desk
You
stuff.
do. You need to.
I clearly don't have enough random shit.
No.
Yeah.
It's all upstairs. So
Yeah, upstairs was
in the studio, we have all of our like 2000s nostalgia. Like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
a drawer with 100 hit clips in a bag.
Yeah.
That's random.
That would have.
yeah.
I've got some Dungeons and Dragons dice that I've never used.
Ooh.
Yeah, you guys win. I love that.
All right. Moving on. Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon?
Nick.
Ooh.
But I hate cartoons, so.
I'd probably say Nick too. It's a close one. For me, it's way closer.
Yeah.
It's tough. They're both great. Thin crust or regular crust pizza?
You like regular crust.
I think regular crust? I don't really know what a thin crust.
You hate thin crust.
I think
You know the pizzas in Minnesota where they like cut it and there's square pieces and
Yeah,
stuff?
that's a thin crust for sure.
I can't eat pizza. I just prefer New York style.
Yeah. I mean,
like thin crust.
I feel like thin crust, like I can just eat it forever without ever getting full.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yes.
regular crust, like I'll get full.
Yeah. That's like Blaze pizza, right? Like the
Regular crust?
No, thin crust.
No, that's like Neapolitan. Thin
What's
crust
the
is
one that you get all the time?
It's pressed like a cracker.
Yeah, it's like a cracker pretty much.
there's a chain in Minnesota that's really good.
Oh, Punch.
Punch.
That was it. That was it.
Yeah, Punch is pretty good.
Yeah.
But that's not thin crust.
No, it's not. Oh,
No.
never mind then.
Lindsay Lohan or Tara Reid?
Lindsay Lohan for
Yeah,
me.
Lindsay Lohan. That was like my first huge crush.
Oh,
Yep.
Oh,
Formative.
I love that for you.
yeah.
Newfound Glory or MXPX?
Ooh.
Newfound Glory.
Yeah, same. Newfound Glory. I feel like that was the first hardcore band that I listened to was Newfound Glory.
I feel like I must have heard them on like a video game soundtrack. I can't remember which one. Don't ask me.
That's so funny.
Hardcore band.
used to. I know, but like think about what I was listening to. I was listening to like Christina Aguilera and like maybe Avril Lavigne was like more hardcore. But then I heard
Yeah.
New Found Glory and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
You're killing me just with like just when you're putting hardcore, just with like just pop guitars, you know?
Sure.
Yeah. When you're 11, that's hardcore.
It's hardcore, dude. It's
Yeah.
fucking hardcore. Love it. Okay. This is the last question. This isn't it either or, but we're gonna test your jingles knowledge. Now, I have so much faith in you.
I'm scared. Also.
Can you sing for us the O'Reilly Auto Parts jingle?
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Perfect. Love it.
Is that a test?
Harmonized.
As a test of
Yeah, you did.
to the radio or TV?
Like you guys are ready to take this to the next level. You guys are the new O'Reilly Auto Parts. This actually, we work for O'Reilly Auto Parts, and you guys are hired for the new commercial.
What?
Yeah, we've been. This is like over 100 episodes. We've been waiting for the perfect. This has all just been a scam.
I can't believe it. When do we start?
Oh my god! One of my absolute best friends in the world does nothing but like sing one radio jingle over and over again for like a month.
Oh.
I don't know how his like girlfriend.
What was the last
him.
one?
I don't remember, but he just like he finds one that's on the radio and he just repeats it, sings it every day.
And they play video games together,
Yes.
so that's often that he's hearing this.
That sounds rough. There's this one commercial that has been on, well, at least my local radio since June, I think now. And it's like this, like, it's this lady talking to, is like, yeah, I got $700 from this blah blah blah, and it's like, hey, where'd you get all that cash? And it's so fucking annoying. But they've been doing this, like, you dial 1-800-76 cash now, and to get your free $700 only in the month of October. But they've been doing it every month since, so it's like only in the month of June, July, it's like it's the same fucking commercial. They just changed the month.
Repurposed.
I gotta know how the scam works. Like, how do they get the $700? I know it's a scam. I just don't know.
It's 100% a scam. 100%. Like, because the thing is think of it this way, right? Okay, who gets scammed nowadays? It's not us. It's not the younger people.
No.
It's people that listen to the fucking radio still. It's the old people.
No.
Rip.
It's a bummer.
I'm surprised though, like by the number of people who are our age who actually do get scammed though. We were hearing about it recently from a friend, and I mean they caught it.
You lose that. You think everything is like genuine for a while, and you get screwed once, and you're like,
everything's
the world is tainted. Everyone's evil.
Oh, right. Like if I don't answer any phone numbers anymore. If it's not a person's name in my phone, you're not getting. I don't have space on a voicemail, so you can't leave me a voicemail. If it's real, you will send me mail.
Yeah,
I like that.
I don't even trust mail.
way.
And I don't trust mail either. So I just don't. I probably got a whole bunch of outstanding things out there. I just refuse to pay and won't answer. I hope not. Actually, that would be awful.
The modern world is so great.
You just ignore everything now. It's awesome. But that's it. You did it. You finished the podcast. Now's your chance. Let everybody know what you got going on, where they can find you, and what's next.
Love it. Well, we're gonna put an EP out at some point. We're called Dawn with 2 V's. DAVVN. They can find us on all of the internet if you still have internet service.
Yep. It's usually dawn.music, but we're all over the place. We're on Spotify, we're on Instagram, TikTok.
Yep.
All of the social networks.
Totally. And what else is new? We're playing
We're playing a show in Memphis
Yeah.
November 1st. That's going to be really fun. We're going to be at When We Were Young Festival this weekend. I don't know if this podcast is coming out before then, but if it is,
Nope.
Nope. Well, we will not see you there. But maybe we have seen you there.
Maybe you did see them there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Love it. Well, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. This was a ton of fun. I hope you had a fun hanging out with us.
Yeah, we had a great
Oh
time.
yeah, should we take like 10 minutes to say our goodbyes or?
our Minnesota goodbye. What time is it? No.
I'm kidding. This has been awesome. Thank you both so much for having me.
No. Awesome. Hell yeah. So y'all, everybody make sure to go check out Don. Check them out. Show them some love. Listen to all their music. Follow them on the social media. And, because if you don't, how are you going to figure out when that EP's coming out and where you can see them live? So do it. Do all the things. Hang out. Continue hanging out with me and Matt. We're going to hop into the Unsigned Pop Punk news right after this jingle here. Hey, it's the Pop Punk Unsigned news now, and we're here.
Oh.
We're here. We're still here. And yeah, we're in the news can. Yeah, you guys stoked for Thanksgiving? Because I'll tell you, I am going to eat so much Thanksgiving. Matt, what are you thankful for?
See, I'm a little nervous for Thanksgiving. Future Matt, you've got this. But last year, Matt was in charge of the turkeys, and I knocked it out of the fucking park.
Yeah.
So much so that my family and my wife's family still talks about my turkeys, and they keep telling me, "You're making them, right?" So I got some pressure coming. I said turkeys because last year I was like, I'm sick of all these fucking going to Thanksgivings and people getting these giant birds, and no one wants the white meat. Everyone wants the dark meat. Everyone wants a turkey leg. So I had the brilliant idea. You're a white meat guy?
Icky.
Oh my God. Well,
White meat.
I had the brilliant idea of making 2 turkeys last year. So everyone who wanted dark meat didn't have to settle. They got exactly what they wanted. And I had leftovers for days. So future Matt, I hope your turkeys are just as good as they were last year.
Are properly done. Did you deep fry them? What'd you do?
Oh, you see, I first dry brined them, which is where you take them out and you put salt on them and you sit them in the fridge for 24 hours to kind of get dry out. That's it. That's the crispy skin.
Okay.
And then I injected them with butter. I put butter on top of it, like under the skin, and then I smoked those bad boys for like 8 hours.
Holy shnikes.
Oh, it was beautiful.
That's crazy. You know what my favorite part of Thanksgiving is? Pumpkin pie.
Oh, we get myself a Costco pumpkin pie.
Yeah, my wife makes a good, a good pumpkin pie. And I mean, it's canned stuff. It's delicious. She puts love into it. A little extra love.
Spits it.
Love my wife's spit. It's the best part. It's the best part of the pie.
Northern Minnesota spit. Can't get enough of it.
Can't get it. It's not like spit from anywhere else, guys. It's just not. It's not. Well, that's gross. What'd you think of this episode? Are you from Minnesota? Let's talk about Minnesota because we love it. We enjoy it. Or just let us know where you're from.
Tell us in the comments what your favorite hot dish is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What's your favorite hot dish or goulash? We don't got to fight about it. Hot dish or goulash.
Why don't call it a casserole?
Or a casserole. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're wrong, but it's called a hot dish.
It's a hot dish. It's okay. But
okay.
I mean, it's all the same thing. All the same sort of stuff. But yeah. I got, you know what? 15% of every purchase of our gender equality shirts. We're still doing that till the end of the year. Are going to be donated to the Trevor Project, whose mission is to end suicide among the LGBTQ youth. So pick up some of that sweet new gender equality merch that we've got. We got a whole line of it right now. Through the end of the year, it's all going to be donated to the Trevor Project. 15% of every purchase will be donated. So help us in supporting this amazing cause and to support saving young LGBTQ lives. So pick some of that stuff up. It's tight.
Hell yeah. You know,
Yeah.
we're coming up on November. Right
Well,
now,
we're well into November.
we are in November, but you know, fantasy football's going on. And your boys in Unsigned Pop Punk, we may hopefully
We've turned it around at this point.
turn it around. But it's going on. We've been posting every week. Have you been keeping up?
Yeah.
Are you following each band? Are you looking at their stuff? We might still have shirts available. We might not. We might have other fantasy options for you.
It's possible, but hope you didn't wait to the last second to get your limited edition fantasy football team shirts, because they rule. We still have our metal design merch drop going on. That's for sure going on through the end of the year. So make sure you pick some of that up, because that is fire. I ordered some myself and it's tight. I thoroughly love it. It's put on some pretty awesome like sweatshirts, and you know, we got some good quality shirts.
Unsignedpoppunk.com/merch or whatever the link is.
No, it's not. You can't. You just go to unsignedpoppunk.com, then click the merch tab.
Yeah,
You'll get yourself there. It's going to link you to a different site. So just make sure. Just go to unsignedpoppunk.com, click the merch tab. That's where you'll get it. And that, my friends, is the way the news goes. Thanks so much to McCall and Mike from Dawn for hanging out with us today. Matt, thanks for hanging out, always being my friend. Gibby, you're a good dude. Miss you. Hope we can talk more soon. Yeah, Lawrence, the man, the myth, the legend, Lawrence Crow's always making all of our designs, making the coolest shit for you to buy or just look at, you know, whatever. All of our designs come from Lawrence Crow. So if you need any design work done, hit that man up. He is a wonderful human being and is in a great band as well. But I'm not going to tell you. You got to go look. I want you to go look.
Do it.
Go look. It's great. Also, thank you to Ross from Electric Kiwi for, you know, helping us with our web design stuff. If you need any web design stuff, go to Electric Kiwi, talk to Ross. It's going to set you up. Like it said, like early October, he did Joey McIntyre from the freaking New Kids on the Block. That's so awesome. He's going to make you, if Joey McIntyre trusts him, you know, you can trust him. Right?
I trust him.
I trust him. I trust him with my heart.
Yeah.
And that's it, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, and we will see you all next week. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Bye.
Thank you so much for checking out the show. Please hit that like, subscribe, or follow button so you never miss an episode. And thank you so much to those of you who already are. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or anywhere else you stream your podcasts. If you're in the position to help us grow and like behind the scenes access and exclusive shows, head on over to our Patreon at www.patreon.com/unsignedpoppunk. Let us know in the comments who you'd like to see on the show and what other content you'd like to see. Thank you all so much.